Good morning, everyone. I didn't think I'd have an herbal video this soon, actually, because, um, like I said in my post, we're kind of in between season for herbal foraging. It's a little late to be collecting leaves unless it's specifically a fall flower or fall leaf um, herb, which I don't have growing right now. Um, and it's too early for roots such as dandelion root and burdock root. But in the meantime, I am dealing with a situation with my hands right now. And I thought, oh, I'll do a video on that because I think this is helpful, especially to us Crohn's. So I'm going to show you my hands. Now, my hands are generally in good shape, generally speaking, but I have arthritis here at the base of my thumb, which is very, very common in women. It's not as bad on this hand. My right hand is the worst, but it's my most dominant hand. I will say the lighting is not flattering to my hands. They look like old hands, don't they? Anyway, so yeah, and I'm also having an issue of carpal tunnel syndrome. Not diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure that's uh, a two-part problem that I have with my hands because I use my hands so much. I knit, I stitch, I garden, I clean. Like my hands are always going. I am doing a couple of empirical medicine things for my hands, full disclosure. One, I've put a 6-week ban on myself stitching or knitting because as soon as I pick up my knitting, I'll do a row and I'll feel it. I'll feel it in my wrists, I'll feel it in my hands and the base of my thumbs. So um, I know that I'm just aggravating the situation. And when I stitch, I'm feeling nerve pain as well as the other pain. So I put a 6-week ban on me doing any of those types of things because it also puts strain on my shoulders, which is also having inflammation. My big problem right now is inflammation. The other thing I do is at nighttime, I wear these hand braces just temporarily because I hate them, but they do really help keep my wrist straight. I can't move my wrist. And a lot of times, if you have carpal tunnel or even arthritis, when you sleep, you tend to curl your hand like this around a blanket or your pillow or something, which puts strain on your wrist. So these keep my wrists straight until I get things under control. I have been through this before, so I know all this works. It's just really bad right now. Now, the other thing that I do is I take a cocktail in the morning. I call it my cocktail. It's a prescribed anti-inflammatory and a Tylenol together. And I find if I take that for like a week, it'll get the inflammation down enough to the point where I can then solely depend on my herbal remedies. I am not one to say only go to your herbs. I think that's not a healthy balance. We have science and medicine for a reason, but I'm also not saying just rely on empirical medicine. I think we need to support our bodies, and that type of medicine is good to get things under control quicker, more efficiently. But they also have a price when you take medicine. Like the anti-inflammatories are hard on the stomach. The ones that I have a stomach medicine included with it. So I don't really have that problem, but I only take it once a day instead of twice a day, and I only usually take it maximum a week, even though it says to take it up for 2 weeks, because I find by a week I'm responding really well to it, and I'm also working with my herbs to help support my body. So today, in my grimoire here, I just wanted to show you in my herbal section how I have my herbs, and I know many of you have seen this before. But at the back, I'm starting at the back, I'm putting these recipes for things that I put together, like, tea blends that I put together and that kind of thing. So I'm going to add one here for osteoarthritis and carpal tunnel syndrome. And what I'm using for that, now, there are all kinds of great herbs for osteoarthritis, all kinds. So, you can research it. If you don't like mint, I know a coworker of mine can't stand mint. So, there's so many herbs. But what I'm doing for this particular blend is I want something that I know I'll drink every day. And I like mint tea with a little bit of honey. Now, this is mint that I grew in the garden. And I also have chocolate mint. But they all do pretty much the same thing. I'm just going to use my peppermint because I have a lot of it. I like saving my chocolate mint for just a nice tea to drink. The other thing I'm adding is St. John's wort. I've talked to you before. Well, in one of our podcasts, I mentioned how St. John's wort, even though you don't see it often as a property for it, it is an excellent nerve tonic. It helps, and I'm not just talking mental health, like, calms your nerves, like it says here. It's also really good for nerve pain. So, um, I'm only starting to see now on the internet people saying that St. John's wort is good for nerve pain. It wasn't until the last year that I've been seeing this, but I've been taking this for nerve pain uh, for a good 15 years now. So, when I need it, I don't always need it, but I need it now because of the carpal tunnel. So this is my blend because peppermint is a great anti-inflammatory. Now, the other thing, mint reacts differently for different people. It says here improves sleep, but I find it a bit of a stimulant, to be honest. So I try not to take it too close to bedtime. Just experiment with that. Some people find mint a stimulant, some people find it helps them sleep. So I don't know what to call this blend. So this is what I have for this entry. I do equal parts for this, 5 parts mint, 5 parts St. John's wort. The other thing I wrote here is don't overcrush. I find if you overcrush and use a tea ball, it gets in your tea, and I find that some flower parts, especially like oat straw and St. John's wort, it can be quite twiggy and it can get lodged in your throat. And I do not enjoy that. So I don't overcrush. Also, sometimes overcrushing takes away some of the medicinal properties of the plant. The other thing I wrote here is to boil water and then let it rest for, a minute, 2 minutes. Don't let it get cool, but let the boiling water rest. Sometimes boiling water is too harsh for certain plants. Now, it's not too harsh for the mint, but it is too harsh for St. John's wort. Anything that has little delicate flowers, don't pour boiling water on it directly, because that can kill some of the properties. Now I have this book. I've shown you guys this book before. It's one of my favorite herbal books. But to be honest, all the herbs recommended for osteoarthritis in here, I didn't feel like drinking. So I came up with my own just by knowing the properties of all my different herbs that I currently have in my apothecary, that these two will work probably just as well. If not as good, it doesn't matter, because it's, for me, this is more of a supporting while I take my medicine, my pills. And once my pills do its job, I'll wean off of that and then just keep taking this stuff. So I'm perfectly happy with this combination. And so, yeah, we're just going to, and it's, look, these things are pretty safe. You do have to be careful with St. John's wort. You can't take it if you're already taking antidepressants or anti-anxiety medicine. And also, if you go in the sun, this will make you burn more easily. So you have to be really careful about that too. So these, St. John's wort does have some, little warnings on it. Mint is relatively safe, but I did notice too that it does say boosts energy, which is kind of interesting because it also improves sleep. So it almost seems contradictory. And maybe it depends on who you are and how your body reacts. But for me, this is what it does. So this to me is a daytime tea, not a nighttime tea like I mentioned earlier. But for you, it could be. So it's not an exact science. It doesn't have to be for this, these two herbs, because all I'm doing is taking a tea ball of these two combined, and let's get rid of this here for a second. So I just kind of put it in layers, and then I'll just take my fingers and mix it together. But you see, I don't really crush it too much. I will in a minute. I'll crush it a bit more. So already my hands feel better this morning. Like, you see what I mean? Do you see how twiggy that is? So, you don't want that stuck in your throat. So don't crush it too much, because that can, let's see, like if you crush that, that can get quite small and get through your tea ball and stick in your throat. If you do your own herbs, maybe be a little more careful than I was with leaving twigs, but I leave it in a way, I leave them in because they're part of the medicinal value of the plant. So I don't go too crazy, but yeah, if I see big ones like that, I take them out because yeah, it really sucks when that gets in your throat. Okay, let's go back here. Now, luckily I have some mint drying because that's the last of that. Oh, I just mix it together, crush it a tiny bit. You know, and you can tell that it's mixing together, you know, like that. You can see like all the plants are together here. So when I put that in my tea ball, there's another stem, shows you that's a good mixture right there. Okay, let's just put the label on. Now, when I go to put this in my tea ball, I'll probably just take a little bit and crush it a little more, and then pick out any stems that I find again. But generally speaking, it will be probably this consistency. I kind of liked the name of my tea blend, so that's what I'm going to name it on my jar. Crone bones. I love that. Crone bones and gnarly nerves tea blend. Okay. Now I reuse jars all the time, and these labels are so good, you can't get them off. So I just put them right over top. Crone bones and gnarly nerves tea blend. And this is just a little description of what it does. And I'll put that in my apothecary shelf, which is running out of space. Just going to put my jars back here. Yeah, I have my mint growing here, or drying here, so I'm going to leave that here. Yeah, that's good and dry. And my Crone bones and gnarly nerves tea blend, I'm also going to put here on the counter so that it reminds me to take it. So I will take like 1 cup a day of this. I just wanted to reiterate something. For me, that's really important. If a tea is going to taste absolutely disgusting, you're not going to be motivated to take it. And I find that if I put mint in my blends, which is not harmful at all, it's beneficial on so many levels, mint. It makes the tea palatable. And it, because of its properties, it just will more than likely aid anything that you're going to make for a tea blend. You can't go wrong with mint unless you don't like it. But if you don't like that, find something that you love. Another one that I really love the flavor of that's not in the mint family is violet. It's so delicate and it's so tasty to me. There's lemon balm, which is the mint family but doesn't necessarily taste minty. And I mentioned this before, motherwort is so bloody bitter. I can't take it. Like, it has so many benefits. And I'm going to have to be desperate as hell before I take it. But it's so good for you. So what I've done is I've done a tincture, which actually I need to decant. It's been there for a while. It's not going to hurt it. The longer it's there, the more potent it is. But I've done a tincture so that I can just put a couple drops in some water or something and just, you know, guzzle it down and bite the bullet, basically. It's kind of like Buckley's cough medicine. If you know Buckley's, tastes horrible, but it works slogan. So that's why I have it in tincture, because I will not put that in tea. I don't like it. And look, I have to show you this. In our last podcast, Susie came with this little cup. And I was like, I mean, look at the size of it. And she said, I thought it would be great if we could use, she got one for herself. She thrifted this. She said, I thought it would be great if we could use this like to take our tinctures. And I thought, that's so smart. I love that idea. I mean, if I'm taking motherwort, I am not sipping it. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna guzzle the motherwort. But any other tincture, yeah, it's kind of a neat little, I don't know. I really like that idea. So yeah, that's up there with my herbal stuff. Actually, I should put it up here. There. I think that's it, guys. So now that my hands are feeling better, I'm going to go out into the fairy wood and fairy circle and clear the paths and do yet another video. I'll see you soon. I hope you enjoyed this video, and leave any comments or questions, or even any suggestions on what other videos you'd like to see me do or Susie do on anything. So yeah, I hope to see your comments soon. Bye.